8 people are dead after police say the gunman opened fire at an outdoor outlet mall. 7 more are hospitalized. 3 are in critical condition this morning. The gunman was taken down by police, and cell phone and dash cam footage showed the whole scene play out. ABC's Melissa Adon is in Allen, Texas this morning with the latest.
The sound of gunfire disrupting a peaceful day at a shopping outlet outside of Dallas, Texas, Saturday afternoon.
We got shots fired at the mall. I got people running.
The shooting happened around 3:30 p.m. local time.
Our officer was at Allen Premium Outlets on an unrelated call. He heard gunshots, located the gunshot, located the shooter, neutralized the shooter. We believe at this point that the shooter acted alone.
The outdoor shopping area packed with hundreds of shoppers on what was a sunny, warm day. Cole Korchak was there with his mother when he heard the shooting.
There's this guy dressed in all black, wearing a vest, has an assault rifle, and he's just shooting at people.
Eber Romero was there too and saw some of the victims.
It's people, people injured, really bad, some dead bodies. The shooters keep all the way around, like probably 5-10 stores. They keep shooting because the glass broken and everything.
Many shoppers say they ran inside stores to hide.
Pop, 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 pop. And we saw sparks flying, like it was right in front of us, so we just ran into the Converse store. They locked the door. We all hunkered down in the back.
We were all freaking out. We're like, what's going on? What's going on? And I had to go back to the front, lock the door. That's when I saw like cops all coming in. The helicopters was coming in.
Multiple agencies responded, including the FBI and ATF. Police officers escorted shoppers to safety, many seen walking with their hands above their heads. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Allen, Texas.
Police in Columbus, Ohio, they handled 3 shootings early Saturday morning. At least 2 people died. Officers responded to gunfire around 2:30. When they arrived, they heard shots from another location and multiple officers returned fire. 1 person was killed, 4 others were hurt in a second shooting. Another person died in a third shooting. Now, no officers were hurt. Police do not believe that those shootings are connected. A grieving family received immense support last night after the death of 41-year-old Rayshawn Simon. Simon was killed last week at the Fields Apartments in Carbondale. Dozens gathered at Addicks Park yesterday. They joined the family in song and released balloons into the air in Simon's memory. One of his cousins says that she still cries every day knowing that he's gone, and she hopes his death can spark some change.
What happened to talking it out and come together as one? We all need to come together as one for our community. I pray every day and every night that our community and our country get healed, because it's all over the world, not just Carbondale.
Simon's funeral has been scheduled for next week. Now, Carbondale police took Dwayne E. Jones and Jeffrey J. Harris, both of Carbondale, into custody in connection with this shooting on the following day. Harris is charged with aggravated battery and unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. Jones is charged with murder and unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. Both men have a preliminary hearing set for May 23rd. Well, the FDA says that some home COVID tests should be thrown out. FDA officials are concerned with the SD Biosensors pilot COVID at-home test. They believe that bacteria contaminated the liquid with the test, and CVS distributed about 500,000 of these. Amazon sent out about 16,000. The FDA says that none of the kits were distributed through the federal government's testing program, but they do say if you have one, throw it away and do not pour the liquid down the drain. Well, Franklin County firefighters came together to remember a fallen firefighter who died in the line of duty 4 years ago. Area departments lined up on Saturday afternoon at Bill Dennison Park in Christopher to honor firefighter Cody Van Fossen. In May 2019, he died at a fire in downtown Christopher while working alongside his father, Brent Van Fossen. He says it's about remembering those who gave their all for others.
We just let people know that Cody will not be forgotten. I know time passes on and people forget, but hopefully they remember the fallen people that protect the lives of others.
This is the 4th year of the Van Fossen Memorial Ride, and they'll come together again in September for a much anticipated annual water fight that raises money for the Van Fossen Memorial Fund. Well, access to behavioral health resources is growing in Williamson County. Take a look.
3, 2, 1.
Always so celebratory to have that ribbon cutting. Well, health professionals, patients, and members of Carterville Chamber of Commerce came out for that ribbon cutting at Integrated Health on Saturday afternoon. Now, behavioral health services in our region face a backlog, with some patients waiting months for an appointment. Well, site supervisor Pamela Stout says that more services in our region are needed.
It actually marks the 4th. This has been 4 months since we had our tragedy at our building next door, and we were getting ready to open this building, and that caused a delay. And I think that made us even more aware, because we needed those services ourselves. And Southern Illinois still is sorely lacking in counseling services and behavioral health medicine.
Integrated Health has grown from around 20 counselors to more than 50 between their 2 locations, Harrisburg and Carterville. Well, I'd be screaming too if I saw a Pikachu. That famous Pokemon was outside. It was trying to draw customers in to Castle Perilous in Carbondale because yesterday was Free Comic Book Day. Now, stores around the country gave away free comics to anyone that came in. This started back in 2002. The day is an effort by comic book industry to attract new readers to independent stores. And the festival season has officially kicked off. Hundreds lined the main streets in downtown Benton yesterday morning for the Wren Lake Water Festival. First responders, marching bands, of course the Shriners, and there, hey, it's the Channel 3 car. They made an appearance. This year's theme, it was a tribute to George Harrison, and events were held all week that included a carnival and live music that celebrated Harrison and the Beatles. Well, Illinois State Police have released the names of the 5 people killed in a dust storm in central Illinois this week. They include Joseph and Donna Bates from Crystal Lake, Michael and Amy Zinchuk from Champaign, and Earl Lindgren from Florissant, Missouri. 7 died on Monday in a chain reaction crash that involved 70 vehicles. 1 victim has yet to be identified.
Well, we've been pretty lucky as far as the weekend goes with seeing mostly dry conditions. Well, today we are seeing mostly sunny for parts of, I should say, for Sparta. But we are going to be looking at some showers and storms on the way on your forecast coming up. Well, good Sunday morning, waking up to some sun across the region, but for the most part, we are seeing a mostly cloudy sky, I'm sorry to say. But hey, we do have a good, healthy mix of sun and clouds out there, so take it as it is. But even better, I mean, besides that view from Sparta, seeing that sun through the clouds, we are seeing a beautiful temperature coming in from Poplar Bluff. Mostly cloudy skies there for you, but we do have some dry road conditions. But look at that temperature at 71, dew point matching humidity just there, almost at 100%. So it's a very muggy start to our day. Those winds from the south pretty light. We have seen some gusting over 20 miles this morning, but that's going to keep filtering some warmer temperatures in for our afternoon. But right now, most of us into those lower 70s, some upper 60s out there. But eventually, we will turn our eye to the sky, our famous favorite freeze, I guess you could say. That's a tongue twister. Threat tracker, we are going to be tracking multiple rounds of showers and storms. Some could be on the strong to severe side. We will be looking at some gusty winds, but hey, we do stay warmer than average. So instead of tracking cooler temperatures, we are going to be tracking above average. So looking at our radar and satellite, we don't really see anything popping out to us. All of the things that we should be worried about stay up to the north for now anyway. That's the clue word, isn't it always? As we go through part of the day today, though, eventually this warm front continuing to lift, these showers continue to dip. That's not typical of this season, but hey, we are going to be tracking a few pop-up showers and storms. So as we go through the morning, those are around 10, so just barely scraping our Illinois and Kentucky counties further to the east. But as we get into that 2 o'clock time frame, more pop-up showers and storms starting to lift with that warm front that I mentioned. So between that 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock time frame, a few more as we get into the later evening hours will be possible, but it's not definite. These are pop-up showers and storms. Doesn't mean that what you see on this map will actually happen. It's pretty much what an ideation would be. So here's round one for your Monday. This is something that we're going to keep an eye on. Temperatures into those lower 60s by the time you're waking up, could even be a little bit warmer. We do have a few showers and storms that will move through. Some could be strong. We're talking about maybe some gusty winds, maybe some pea-sized hail. Then round two comes through. Cold front going into the evening hours. That's where you can get some of your Boeing segments, some straight line wind damage with that. So hail, gusty winds, maybe some over 40 miles per hour. And of course, heavy rainfall with multiple rounds coming through. Not expected to get out of the region until late Monday, maybe even some residual into Tuesday. So on top of that, I mentioned our gusty winds. Today we could see some over 20 miles per hour. As we go into our Sunday, though, that's where we're tracking even winds gusting, our Monday, over 35 miles per hour. So that's where we could see our damaging winds there with some of those multiple rounds of showers and storms. It's going to be something to watch, especially as we go through the day today. We do have that marginal, that level 1 across our entire counties. So it's going to be something to watch, at least for our heavy rain to hail. As we go into our Monday, that level 2 encompasses all of our, at least northern, southern Illinois and parts of our southeast Missouri counties. Level 1 encompassing most of our Kentucky and our southeast Missouri counties as well. It's a level 2 out of 5. Not the highest, not the lowest, but download that Storm Track 3 because we're going to be tracking multiple rounds of showers and storms. We'll get a little bit of a break going into Tuesday through Thursday with more isolated chances, but then we go back up again as we go into our Friday and Saturday and even Sunday of next week. So looking pretty wet for our pattern going forward. Rainfall forecast, we're looking a little bit more as we go into the next 5 days. Could even see some over 3 inches. So if you're planting, you're doing anything crop related, you're probably going to be dealing with maybe even some minor field flooding with that. But as we go and look at the 7 and 10 day forecast, again, there's those chances of isolated showers, but my goodness, Rachel, we asked for the 80s and it's coming back with a little bit of a punch because we're going to be dealing with the muggy conditions.
You know, I mean, you can't have it all, right?
I guess you can't.
All right. Thanks a lot, Emily. Well, we're taking a live look at Carbondale this morning. You can see that cloud cover Emily was telling us about. Well, we're going to have a last look at your news and your weather coming up after the break. Stay with us. You're watching News 3 this morning. Well, welcome back. A World War II soldier who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country will finally be laid to rest decades after his death. Bruce Harrison reports on a story that gives one family closure after almost 80 years.
On a piece of land where Roy Harms grew up is a building that bears his name.
And I know that Roy going off to service was a big deal because he had 4 sisters and he was the only son.
First Lieutenant Harms, a 26-year-old B-24 pilot, was killed in action, shot down over Romania in 1943 on a bombing mission. His body was lost. Sue Tarowski with American Legion Auxiliary says the Harms family gave the Legion this land to build Post 355.
It's hard to find the right words to ask the question.
It's hard to find the right words to give you an answer because there are no words to describe how important tomorrow truly is.
Tomorrow, a funeral for Harms nearly 80 years after his death.
What does it mean to be able to bring Lieutenant Harms back home finally?
There are not even words. Oh, they're not words to describe what an honor it is to be able to be a part of something like that.
6 years ago, the U.S. government began exhuming remains believed to be associated with Harms' mission. And last summer, using the DNA of his sister and nephew, Harms was finally found.
She died in 2020, and before she passed, they identified the co-pilot through DNA. And I said, Mom, your brother was right there. It's just a matter of time.
Laura Harms Murphy will still be nearby when her brother is laid to rest. And her boys, with dozens of other living relatives, will get to see when the young pilot from Grafton returns to his parents.
This is the only place where his remains belong, is right here. And that's where he'll be tomorrow. The family will be all home.
Well, the moon and Mars, yes, they're miles and miles away, but pieces of them will actually be landing in Carbondale soon. The Alder Planetarium in Chicago is bringing its Astro Road Trip Outreach program back to Southern Illinois. They bring meteorites from the moon and from Mars to show to students. It's the first trip back to Carbondale since 2019, and you're not going to want to miss it. It's at the Science Center in Carbondale, Wednesday, May 17th from 2:30 to 4:30, and admission is free. There's also a roller derby, and it's making its return to Southern Illinois. You can check out our local team's first match next week. The Southern Illinois Roller Girls, or So Ill Roller Girls as they want to be called, return after 3-year hiatus due to COVID. Their first match is going to be against the visiting Rolla Rockets. Tickets are 8 in advance, 10 at the door, but kids 12 and under get in for free, and that is next Saturday at the Pavilion in Marion. Doors open at 5, match starts at 7:30. And the city of Carbondale is looking ahead to summer. And if you're looking for a summer job, you might want to check this out. City leaders are ready to hire some lifeguards for Cedar Lake. They're going to be stationed at the Poplar Camp Beach. The pay is $15.50 an hour. The city's also willing to pay you back for any recertification fees that you might need to get. In order to apply, look for this post on Facebook, or you can go to the city's website.
Let's do it.
You want to go be a lifeguard?
Yeah. Okay.
Last look, I guess, right?
Well, right now we are taking a look at our future cast. Right now things are dry, but eventually as we go through the afternoon and into our evening, and again for our Monday morning and Monday evening, we have a few rounds of showers and storms that look to be back to back. That could bring quite a little bit of a punch as far as the rainfall goes. For our Monday, we do have a slight risk of strong to severe storms that will be possible again for Monday morning, Monday afternoon, and Monday evening. So back to back to back. It's a question on where and when. So keep an eye on the sky. Going forward, we'll have a few more chances of showers going through the week. More showers and storms coming back for next weekend, but warming up.
Umbrellas and apps. That's what we need. All right. Thanks, Emily. And thank you for joining us today.